Given YouTube's deprecation of the data API, does my code still work from my previous video? Well, yes, it does. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the new and improved updates for my given code base, and I'm going to be addressing any concerns that might occur with this particular framework. And as of December 16th, 2021, this does not violate any YouTube terms of service. I'm using all of YouTube's API, and there's no nefarious practices that are happening. Everything is by the book. And there is actually no explicit instruction detailing whether or not you can actually share your YouTube statistics with users across the board. So here I am. But in the uneventful case that YouTube does update their YouTube terms of service when I can't particularly share my YouTube statistics, make sure you check out the comment description down below where I will be pinning any updates related to that particular situation. YouTube only specifies that if you apply for an exemption to have access to a number of dislikes to other content creators' videos, that you are not allowed to share with your end users. However, this does not concern this particular process because the data is my data and not someone else's data. Now let's address the potential indexing issue that might occur when we are actually updating the metadata for each YouTube video. There is a potential downside when it comes to actually re-updating your description, your video description each week, let's say, partly because when you're updating each one of your single metadata attributes with your particular video, the YouTube algorithm will then re-index your particular video and your content might not actually be pushed out to new users more at like a accelerated rate. However, after testing the functionality on all of my videos this past month or so, I noticed very little difference in view count and total watch time. But there are some noticeable dips here and there, thus the updating of likes and dislikes won't happen frequently. I'm thinking I'll do this once a week or less frequently during the dark hours of where your views typically go down anyways. This process can be a great alternative to the ongoing project Return YouTube Dislike because this method is more accurate since the content creator is the one who has access to their data. That's not to say that Return YouTube Dislike project is moot, since not every creator will be aware of or execute this particular process. Thus, there may still be a need for the extension. There are two YouTube APIs that you can use, and I've already created scripts that you can execute that more or less does the same exact thing when it comes to updating each video description with the number of likes and dislikes. So in the event that one API loses applicability and becomes deprecated or removed, you still have an alternative backup. Now, the very first YouTube API that we'll be interacting with is the Analytics API. Now, this API actually refers to the entire history of the number of likes and dislikes, and there are a few disadvantages to this, and we'll see that very soon. Okay, so let's jump right into the very first API that we'll be interacting with, and this is the Analytics API that I've mentioned earlier. Now notice that this exact format or the exact structure is very similar to what I have actually done in my previous video. And the only thing that's different is that everything is like streamlined into one gigantic script, and you don't have to manually type in Python or run your executable and then run your second executable and then run your third executable. So now everything is in one script and a lot less typing. So high level overview, just download your client secret file from your Google developers account and put that in your local directory. And then you're just going to be referring to all the specific YouTube APIs that I've already created like a wrapper for. Reference that and then download all of your necessary metadata. This is getting the specific metadata for each one of my videos, and the resulting value is that all of my videos are going to be in a JSON format. So let's go ahead and format that. And yeah, so I have the most juicy part here is that I want my old descriptions for each one of my videos over here, and so on and so forth. And then after that, I would want to dissect my JSON format, or I want to dissect the JSON values for each one of my video, records. And I would want to pretty much like locate each one of the descriptions and then match the descriptions with the number of likes and dislikes that I'll be extracting from the YouTube Analytics API. And so I already ran this, and then the final result is that I'm going to have a video Analytics Studio CSV file. And these are the video IDs for each one of my videos, and each one of them has the number of likes and dislikes. So notice that my second most recent video, this is I think it's my quant video. Anyways, notice that my second video has 1 dislike over here. However, in actuality, that video is actually this one, the quant arbitrage one. There's actually no associated dislikes here. And so the reason behind that, that terminology that I think is happening is that the YouTube analytics actually refers to the entirety of the number of likes and dislikes, and they don't refresh the potential spammy actions that might occur with that given data set that they have in the backend. So with that in mind, this particular API is not as accurate as the data API, which we'll do very, very soon after. However, if the data API is deprecated, then this is the next best solution. So over here, extracting each one of my descriptions and then just appending each of these number of likes and dislikes in a very neat format to notify the viewer that the number of likes and dislikes has been updated in so-and-so date, and this is the most accurate reading. And then, just continue on, and then it's doing all the update descriptions where it's just appending that one line at the very top of the description. It should be good to go. And all you really do is just, you just run Python and then this particular script name, and then there's 3 API calls, and then you would have to verify that the account that you're using is who you say you are. So go ahead and do that. Now, the number of likes and dislikes on this particular API is what you would have seen if YouTube had not removed the dislike counter. So this is actually updating the number of likes and dislikes at a very frequent pace, and it also remedies any potential spammy action, so it can actually remove the number of likes or dislikes on that particular video. And now the finale, this is the script related to the all statistics of the data API. Now notice that this entire structure is literally the exact same thing as the analytics API script that I have going on over here. The only difference is that I'm referring to like the YouTube data API, where I'm getting a different source. I'm referring to a different source of likes and dislikes. And so this is where it's happening over here. And I'm storing the related likes and dislikes into the video statistics, that CSV file over here. And everything else is the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and run this script. So it's just Python. We want the statistics of data API. Let's go ahead and run that. Same exact process. There's going to be 3 verification steps that we are going to have to do. So let's do that and let's verify. This is what it looks like when we have already verified our very first step. We have the total number of videos. Let's go ahead and verify the second step, where we are getting the number of likes and dislikes. And the first step was just extracting the appropriate metadata with each one of our videos. And this is our second step. So it's just iterating through all of our videos, and this is extracting each one of the metadata. So it's like a little bit of a different output, but in essence it's doing the exact same thing. We have the video names, video IDs, and the associated likes and dislikes. Notice that our dislikes is 0. This is the exact same thing that we saw on our front page when we are looking or just perusing through our own videos. So this looks good. Let's type in yes, and then let's verify the migration of our updated comments that we want to update with the likes and dislikes. So let's go ahead and verify. And now everything is being updated with all those specific updated descriptions. And so once that has finished, let's go ahead and pull up my YouTube channel to see if everything is up to date. Let's go ahead and refresh this, and let's minimize this, and voila, we notice that the number of dislikes is now 0. So this is a more accurate representation of using this specific the YouTube data API. However, if the YouTube data API becomes deprecated and we can't potentially use this particular API for some YouTube reason, then we can always fall back to the YouTube Analytics API, and hopefully they don't deprecate that as well. In the next part for this video series, I'm going to go ahead and create a cron job with a productionalized instance, so that it's going to be running every week, so that my video descriptions are being updated every week. So instead of me manually typing, I'm going to go ahead and automate everything. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button with those notifications on. If you liked it and you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button. I hope to see you in my next video.